I feel like this is a hard one. I don't even know what it really means to be yourself. I see things on Facebook and YouTube and Twitter all the time about be yourself. In fact, I even saw someone quote Oscar Wilde, be yourself. Everyone else is already taken. Having said that, Oscar Wilde was also the guy who said, most people are other people. Their thoughts are someone else's opinions, their lives, mimicry, and their passions, a quotation. So basically what Oscar Wilde is saying, everything you think has already been thought. Everything you do is just you copying someone else's personality. I do think that that pretty much hits the nail on the head. And this is why I say that. According to psychology, we all go through cognitive development. It's the way your brain develops and learns how to do things. And the way we do that is by learning from other people. For example, role models, like same-sex parents. So if you're a girl, your mannerisms are going to be similar to your mum's, for example, and if you're a guy, your mannerisms are going to be similar to your dad. Your parents don't have to be role models. For example, me, I never really had a father figure, not until I was a lot older anyway. The way I learned to be myself was by watching other people. Actors on TV, for example, or people that I went to school with. It was almost like a pick and mix of character traits that I chose from these people, things I liked. And I can say that growing up I was a fairly awkward kid, because I didn't have that father figure to, you know, to show me how to be and you know, someone to learn from. So I tried to be confident and I pretended to be like this confident guy, and then like the more I pretended, you know, like the more I became that person. What I've discussed so far is that being yourself is really just a pick and mix of other people's personalities. Okay, but then going back into the whole psychology thing, there is that theory that there are only 16 character types, and those 16 characters stem from 4 unique personality traits. What are those 4 personality traits? Sentinels, diplomats, analysts, and explorers. So for example, being 7 billion people in the world, we'll round it up, we all know that we've reached the 7 billion mark. Divide that by the 16 personality types, you are left with 437,500,000 identical people, or more or less similar personality types. Think about someone that you're friends with, think about someone that you know from school, and then someone that you know outside of school or work who are similar. You know, people who like you meet and you're like, oh my god, you remind me of my friend Jess. Because I can think of a few examples in my own personal life where that sort of applies. Then that sort of brings into question the whole nature-nurture thing. Are you born who you are, or do you develop into the person you are? So this is a massive debate that a lot of psychologists have, and the reason it is such a science is because you can't prove nor disprove it. I recently went indoor skydiving, and I loved it. Was I born to love that, or did I learn to love that? I have not spent more than a day with my real father that I can remember. But then there's things like my mum will say, for example, oh my god, what you just did, that's so like your dad. Friends of my mum and my real dad will say to me, oh my god, you remind me so much of your father, it's weird. Was that in my DNA? Is it in my brain to be like that? I don't know. Okay, honestly, in my personal opinion, nature and nurture, I believe it's a little bit of both, because I think that there are some things that you are born with. I don't think that people are born as a blank canvas. I think that everyone is born with a little bit of personality where it's introvert, extrovert, adventurous, whatever. But there is always that change that's going to happen depending on the way you're brought up. So your parents, your role models, your life experiences, you know, the influences, subliminal influences such as TV and books and radio and things that you see every day, they make you who you are. So when people say be yourself, you already are yourself. But then the you that's gonna exist next week is completely different to the you that exists now. Some bits will still be there, some bits will become bigger and better, some bits you might toss aside. You're always you. How to be a better person, in my opinion, is just think nice things. Because when you start thinking nice things, you start saying nice things to people. And once you started saying nice things, you start doing nice things to people. So if you make being nice a habit, then that becomes your personality. And the point I'm trying to make is that if you don't know who you are, you can change that. And when people say be yourself, being you is always a here and now thing, because it's always changing and developing. Don't let it change into something negative. And it doesn't matter if you feel like you don't know who you are, because there's still time to do that. I feel like I'm still discovering who I am, And I'm still learning, I'm still developing. So let's get on this journey together. And the way I look at it is be someone else and the wrong people may like you, but be yourself and the right people will love you. Sure and happy. Gotta be more.
No. Let's see how high I can jump.
Anyway, I've been Sheridan Hackland and these have been my thoughts on the subject. I hope you guys have learned something and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you did like it and you do want to see more, definitely please leave a comment or subscribe and I'll see you guys soon. Also follow me on Twitter. I have a Vine as well where I make like really random stuff. And I will see you guys soon.